morning, coming to you live at 0800 hours, Tuesday, September 3rd. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I hope everybody made it home safe. For the ones that didn't, rest your loved ones' souls, and welcome to the family. Hopefully your family is safe, your immediate family, your loved ones and friends. And I want to say this real quick, there's been a lot of car accidents this year alone. Forget suicide and homicides. Not forget them, because I'm going to talk about those soon. Just be careful. It's a vehicle that weighs 5 times your weight that you can't even lift. You can't lift it over your head. No being on this earth can lift a car over their head. And since that's being said, not if one person can't do it, you got to be careful when you're driving. Look left, look right. If you're on a circle, make sure you following the rules. Make sure you doing all the things you're supposed to do. Because sometimes you knowing what to do can cause you to be saved than so much that you're relying on another person in another vehicle, which that have the same ability as you. They cannot pick up the vehicle. They cannot stop the vehicle in its tracks. I don't care what brakes you have. I don't care what safety measures. You can't stop a 2,000-pound vehicle. So please, I ask of you to be safe. And thank you for coming to my channel again. And I'm going to ask you, which I never do, and I'm learning a lot about life. May I please have your ears, my eyes, because I don't care about showing my face all the time. Can I have your ears and your eyes, please, and your attention for a little bit? I'm going to do different series. We have the Power Over Oneness series, the Brother series, the Sports Talk series. I want to add a series, 2. I want to do an education series, and I also want to do, 3, a mind-opening series, and a series on basically, who are we? What are we? And I was going to call it the slave series, because it seemed as if when I made the video about why I hate black women, that wasn't even what I was talking about, and I had my most views. And then I did it again, I didn't get the same views because people seen who it was, and they seen what I was talking about. And I'm coming to an understanding. We love the drama, and I don't know about outside world. People say you need to know the current events and everything. Cool. I know the current events because people ask me where I get my information from. I say spiritually. They say you don't know, because what I learned is if you keep watching or listening to something, and I'm not talking about just me. I'm talking about you challenging your way of thinking, your way of life. You're doing things different to be better. Or you may be doing things different and it's getting worse because you're not doing nothing different. You think you are. It's like you on autopilot. And what I notice about us, we like on autopilot. If I say it, it goes. Or that's how we was never supposed to look at celebrities. We was never supposed to really get into the money, but we did. The income. That was never supposed to be about life. But that became part of life because it became part of people. So at this point, I want to go ahead and just a challenge to understand. I'm not sure if I want to put this under the slavery series or the education series. This video basically is about, if you want to listen for another 7 minutes, because I want to explain a little things and give you some history. I'm going to talk about land, the law of why it don't make sense. And guess what? Nobody owned this land. Not one person on this face of the earth, not one being on this earth, owned a piece of land. So why are we paying for it? Why are we paying? Now, I'm not saying there are services. I'm not saying the irrigation system, we can't pay the people that run the system, that the people that work for the irrigation system. I'm not saying that. That's where our plumbing come in. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if I go outside right now and look at a piece of land and there's nothing on that land, why are we talking about they own it? And then if it's something on that land, that person that's on that land don't even own that land. The building. So I can understand. So if you look at it, you building a building on a land you don't own, but then you want people to pay for the building. Cool. But if I come to the building and I knock it down, who fought? So I'm in trouble. But the original law, the original reason why we talk about owning land is because of war. We beat people up, and they tried to dominate and reign. So, in which we're trying to understand no more. I don't care what we want to call it. We can say, oh, the African descendant people or African people are the most violent, but we not even the wars. We not even the warmongers. There was nations that was conquering. We wasn't conquering our people. They was conquering their people and then colonizing their own people, or the people that looked at as the same skin pigment as them. But we don't talk about that. Just I'm demonized for the rhetoric of the narratives that's around the world or just in America that I'm bad, I'm typical, I'm just wrong. But we forget that our counterparts, the Jewish, the Hebrew, the Edomites, the white men, the Euro, the Caucasus men are warmongers. We just forget that that's happening that's happening right now. They're killing somebody. They're killing off a person to take it from them. And they call it spoils of war. Come on now. Why are we not thinking as this? So they made all these laws. They signed treaties. They broke treaties. They broke the treaties. They want to give reparation. They want to make laws about this is a crime, this is not a crime. But nobody talks about how we got to it. Why don't we talk about that? You say I am resolve and resolution. There's a resolve and resolution to everything we do. Get rid of taxes. I don't know why I'm being taxed for nothing. They got us believing that water that's free coming from the sky, we got to pay for it. They got us believing that when we take a step outside on a piece of a land that we got to pay for it. Come on, think about it. How is free land monetized? Because of war. Because of people thinking they if there wouldn't be no such thing as supremacy or dominance if we just say, no, we're not going to take it. No more. That's that song. No, we're not going to take it. No, no more, no more, no more. That's all we literally have to do. We the people, 1775. 1885, I mean, when they wrote who was the people? People. People wrote the law. The first law came through a king. In the Babylonian times. And said this is going to be the first law. You have to follow the order of the king. That was the first law. And then the first biblical law was written by another man. People say, how can you not fathom that a man can be used or that the creator can use him? Because he's using me as well then. He's telling you that that's wrong. So how can you fathom that is true, but what I say is not true? We under the same understanding. We both know there's a creator. I am a knower. I'm not a believer. I speak truth. I don't seek out to confuse you. I seek out to guide, not even to guide you. I want you to challenge your own thinking. You challenge you. Say, why is I'm doing this? We have addictions and we have these things called mental illness, but nobody questioning, why are we thinking that way? Why is my mentality only a certain way? Why is it so hard for me to break out of this mentality? Why is I'm only this way? Why can't I do this? Why am I stuck? Why is this being controlled? Why is we have no control over being controlled? Nobody talks about that. That's where I come from. That's where I'm going. And hopefully you can take this journey and path with me. And I want you to really think. Like it don't make sense. People say, "Oh, that's lazy." No, it's not lazy. I'm walking outside on a piece of land that nobody owns, and they talking about they own it. How? There is no possible, there is no real life, logical, understanding, comprehensive logic that I can cohere, understand, and see that you can tell me, you can make up, you can try to put facts in it, you can try to put proof and truth in it to tell me that I am born on a earth just as everyone else. When I'm step on the ground, I have to pay on the ground. A piece of free land, I'm paying taxes for it. Then if you don't pay, why would I get in trouble? How can you jail me for what should be free? How can you imprison me when I am free? And why is it I need your permission? Why do we need permission to have freeness? Why are we allowing things? Thinking, come on, think. People are like, oh, that's radical, that's extreme. No, I'm using the thing that we don't have use for anymore, common sense. Something from the sky drops and I catch it, I'm not paying for it. Why? And why is it such a big deal that and the man, think about this. We can say it's a sin, all that crappity crap. I'm sorry, you gotta have some meaning to it now. You can't just say a word and for somebody to say, oh, that's what it is, it's a sin. No, what is a sin? A curse. So your curses. So we're going to follow curses that we don't even think about that. You're going to follow a curse that you don't have to follow. And that's why I tell people, when you say, I'm like, that don't work for me. It was like, no, we all in this. No, we're not all in this together. That's your belief. You're not knowing. You won't even read the whole book that you're believing in. That don't make no sense to me. You won't even go out and challenge what you keep. I'm challenging. And the biggest thing that I'm going to do for myself, I'm going to pick and choose who I work for. Because that's why I say I don't know what to call it, the education series. I know that they're trying to control me, but I'm going to pick and choose where I go. I'm going to choose if I want to. So if I say no, they're going to say, oh, you don't have a job. You don't have a business. Your business not going to go bigger. I'm like, no, I'm picking and choosing what I want to do. No, see, you got to follow that and say, well, I'm going to have a better life, but you're working just as hard as I am. And you're still not free. We talking about we free. You're not free. Free is until you say, I'm controlling what I'm doing. I'm controlling. I know you racist, but I'm going to still work for you. I'm going to say it to your face. We had the athlete say it to they couldn't wait. They had to find. I can talk smack about, I can say my boss suck. I can say, this is an example, not saying this is true. I never worked for it. That's why I'm going to utilize it. I can say Geico suck. I can say the boss, the supervisor named Jane Doe sucks. And then she cannot do nothing about it. She can find fault in ways. If I'm not following the rules, that's cool because I signed that paper. I signed that document with my signature saying I'm going to follow these rules. And if I'm going to break them, she have all means. But I can say, Jane, you suck as a supervisor. I can write that down to her. That's not change. That's nothing in there that's saying I cannot say what I want to say. I cannot. That's my truth. Think about that too. Your truth. You talking about you got a belief you don't know. You can't hate. No, I can judge. I can hate all I want. That's my choice. It's how I do it. Is what is up to me. And they trying to tell you what you can and can't do. Think about that. You cannot get in. Then they trying to tell you you can't talk. You can't. I can't. So that person can have. They can break the actual. They can actually break the document saying, well, I will be treated fairly and not being treated fairly. But just because I said, well, you're not treating me fairly and you're not a good supervisor, I'm not going to say you suck or you're a bad. Say you're a bad supervisor. So that give that supervisor means to try to fire me. Think about that. Look at the world we in. Come on now. That giving somebody that shows that she want power. Jane don't want power over you. That company want power over you. But I'm gonna take it back. The one thing that we got to stop saying, the most derogatory word in the world is the word nigger to me. And it's written in that way in every book. It's in every book from here to kingdom come. You will see that the most derogatory word in the world is nigger. And we got to stop saying, even in some cases, well, if you don't give it power, it don't have power. Well, that word had powers over century, over century, over centuries. And this is not new. So the first law was created in 2200. So, and I'm not sure if that's before or after. I don't do the before and after. I think that's stupid. I just call it the calendar year. The first calendar year, 2019. This world is older than 2019 years old. It's not millions. It's about, I want to say, 15 to 30,000. Maybe it's up to the max 100,000. And you can say that it's not. We were here with animals was here with us. We have not discovered the whole earth. So we start thinking about a lot of things that we say. It don't make sense. We went outer space, but we only did it one time. What else going on? It's supposed to, the savior supposed to come happen to us, but a whole race of people is being hurt, or little kids is being hurt, but there's a savior. You know who the savior we are? You know who's going to free us? Us. So what I say unto us, I say unto all of us. It's our path, it's our journey, it's our choice. We have some decisions to make. Are you going to allow yourself to be still used and controlled and programmed and systematic indoctrinated? Or are you going to finally have some freeness about yourself? I'm not saying you're not on this earth. And hopefully we can instill a strongness in our children, for they can stop allowing these so-called laws to control them. And one day they will break free from these laws, and they will take back the land, and they will stop allowing other people to tell them what to do. Bene.